Hello and welcome to Cooking with Allergies. Today we're going to be making some cake cookies. So let's get started. So by popular vote of my family, I'm going to be making some lemon cookies today. Before I tell you anything, I'm going to preheat my oven to 325. Okay, so all you need is 2 eggs, or for me it's egg replacer, and half a cup of oil. That is all you need. And of course, a box of cake mix. So let me get the measuring tools out and we'll get started. Okay, so actually I don't even need that measuring cup. So if you didn't know, half a cup of oil is actually 8 tablespoons, so I don't even need a measuring cup. I can just measure out 8 tablespoons. Okay, and then I'm gonna do 4 tablespoons of water, because that's how my eggs are made. My eggs are made with egg replacer, so let me see if I can dry off my measuring spoon. Because it's a dry powder, I want to try and get the tablespoon as dry as possible. Okay, so that is all the measuring you will need. So you're going to mix that around a little bit to get all of it immersed, although oil and water do not mix together very well. Okay, so you open the box of cake mix, find some scissors, and then all you do, well, what I do is I pour about fourth in, mix, because then I don't get all that powder in my face. Okay, so after you mix together all the cake mix, the oil, and the eggs, that's it. That's your cake cookies. So I'll tell you what to do after that. So right now, it's about 3/4 of the cake mix, and because there's less water or liquid in it, it looks kind of like a thick cake mix right now. But if I add the rest of the cake mix, it'll make it into a cookie dough. And then you can mold it, you can make I guess you could even make a cookie sheet out of it. But the timings would be a little different. So cake cookies are very, very easy to make. There are recipes online for it, but they don't really tell you what you need or whatever, at least the ones I found. So I actually asked my grandmother for the recipe because I know she makes them. Okay, so let me get all the powder into it and we're good to go. So probably need a tablespoon. Okay, so before I started the video, I got out 3 pieces of parchment. So, and that's traditionally how I use them. So, you're going to lay out 1 piece of parchment onto the pan. And while the oven is preheating, you're going to scoop out all of the, let me put away my stuff here. It is a good idea to clean up as you go. Okay, so I'm going to move the pan aside for right now. Get another piece of parchment, lay it out on the stove once it sets flat. And I'm basically going to measure a tablespoon into my hands and roll it around. Now my hands are clean, and that's basically all you do. You have basically a tablespoon of dough. It may look a little watery now, but that's just because the flour hasn't absorbed into the cake mix. So that's all you do for cake dough, for cake mix cookies. And once the oven is preheated at 325, I'm gonna bake them for 14 minutes. It's an exact number. So, and the thing is, if you have a really dark pan, it may be a little lighter because they had more heat in them and they might brown it sooner. So that's another thing to consider. So these will make about, I usually get 3 pans of 9, so that will be, 3 pans of 9 is usually like 27 cookies, and that usually feeds my family pretty well. So right now the oven is at 280 degrees, so we still got a little bit to go. And that's usually why I preheat it before I start videoing, because I don't want any blank space on the video. Okay, so you're gonna basically, don't know if you see this or not, but I basically place them like a tic-tac-toe grid, so maybe an inch apart or so, a little more probably. So that's how much space I have between them, and they do spread a little bit, so be careful with that. And these are a little greasier than usual because I spilled more canola oil than I was supposed to in the pot. So right now I have maybe a little over half a cup of canola oil in there. So they're a little greasier than usual. Okay, so I've got 9 cookies on the pan, an inch apart each, and let me wash my hands real quick because I don't want to have to clean the pan afterwards. Okay, so let me stop my mixing video there. Okay, so I'm going to put these in the oven at 325 for 14 minutes. And that is a very exact number. So let me get 14 minutes on this timer. And I'll get the rest of these cookies out and I'll show you what they look like after that. It is very, very simple. Okay, so I've got all the cookies finished and I won't eat one right now because I'm currently fasting, but I'm pretty sure they're pretty delicious. They usually are. Okay, so that's it. Please, well, actually, before I do that, I'm going to try something new on my YouTube channel. I'm going to ask everyone who watches my videos opinion on what I should make next. So, would you rather have me make banana muffins or blueberry cobbler in the next video? And if you give the answer before next week, I'll put all the votes in and I'll see which one has the most votes. Okay, so that's all I have. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, all that kind of stuff. And I'll see you next time.